Water is a fundamental element for human survival, and during the centuries we can find many examples of the sedimentation of an important hydraulic heritage, as we can see here in Venice, but also in many other parts of the Mediterranean and of the world that today may constitute an important element, an important asset also for tourist purposes. According to a famous art historian, Simon Schama, waterways are one of the most important, iconic themes in both literature and landscape painting. And we want to focus exactly on waterways, that is to say artificial canals that has been used for centuries for human prosperity, not only for human survival, but has been used for troops, for transporting goods, for trades, also in a huge territory beyond Venice, beyond what we can see today in Venice. This heritage is an important element for tourist purposes. Sometimes it has been abandoned for centuries, but for a perspective of sustainable tourism, we can find many experiences in Europe of regeneration, of landscape and territorial regeneration. And as Civiltà dell'Acqua, that is Water Civilization Center, the association I represent, we developed during the last years a number of projects related to waterways, artificial canals, rivers that penetrate into the territory and that has been the source of prosperity for many centuries. Today we have this sedimentation of castles, villas, mills, ports, river ports that are important to promote a sustainable tourism. And one of the projects we developed is exactly related to this for a number of digital itineraries into what may be considered in part an abandoned landscape today, but which may be an important opportunity for the future. We can also see that in many parts of Europe, such as in the United Kingdom, France and Germany, waterways has been at the center of many policies for regeneration of the landscape and territory. And in the Veneto region, we developed, together with the Ca' Foscari Venice University, a project to promote traditional waterways, the ways in which Venice was connected to important cities like Padua, like Treviso, like Portogruaro, even Milan for centuries could be reached through navigation, and through navigation along rivers, but also artificial canals. And what is today part of this abandoned heritage has been at the center of our project of re-evaluation for sustainable tourism. We focus on a number of digital itineraries which are available through apps that may be downloadable for free from Apple Store, from Google Play Store, and that invite tourists to discover another Venice, not the most known part of Venice, not this kind of canals or rii, as they are called in the Venetian language, but the waterways that penetrate into the inland. So we made a project aimed at make a census of this heritage, hydraulic heritage that is at the center of our project. We developed itineraries to discover villas, castles, ancient mills, ports, fortified towns that in the past were at the center of this network along the navigable canals. And we also participated to an international competition at the 29th World Canals Conference, and for this project, which is aimed to develop sustainable tourism, we were awarded with the Innovation Award. in this prestigious setting by this prestigious conference, which means that also places that today are in part abandoned are important for the future policies to regenerate territories, to give the opportunities to local people to further strengthen their sense of place, and to let also tourists to discover new parts of Venice which are part of the Venetian heritage. Water is a fundamental element for waterways, but has been used also for different purposes, for irrigation in agriculture, for industrial and proto-industrial uses. And as part of this project, we developed also another project which is very much related to sustainable tourism, which is the global network of water museums. So we discovered during this project that the entire territory is a kind of open-air museum where we can discover through the red thread of water a way of narrating and discovering all our heritage. And in this sense, the entire territory is part of this water museum, which could be also exploited for tourist purposes. In this sense, we organized with the UNESCO Venice office last spring the first meeting of the global network of water museums, which try to make a link among the main institutions everywhere around the world that are trying to promote their water heritage, their liquid heritage. So we can see that in different parts of the world, from Africa to China to Asia, everywhere we have water civilizations that try to develop a specific use of water. Water management models, hydraulic heritage are part of what today may be used for a strategy of sustainable tourism and sustainable development. And with this global network of water museums, we are trying to federate a number of these museums in order to promote a new sense of water, a new ethical value of water. After this first meeting, we had a presentation in Paris at UNESCO International Hydrological Program. This project has been endorsed by IHP Bureau, and in the next June should be formalized by the Intergovernmental Council of IHP, International Hydrological Program, as a project to consolidate a new vision for water civilization, for water uses, for water management, in order to get closer to the Agenda 2030 and the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations.